জয় জয় গোরা চাঁদে আরতি করছ
Jai ho!
जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, पतित पावन, जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, पतित पावन,
हरे कृष्णा गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शताशी श्रीमद् शिवाइन ग्रेश श्रीला भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शताशी श्रीमद् शिवाइन ग्रेश श्रीला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद श्रीला गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय विष्णुपाद श्रीला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्रीला जगन्नाथ दास भक्त जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ स्वामी प्रभु की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। जय जय श्री श्री सचिनंताय चांद की जय। जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ भगवान, जय श्री श्री प्यारे जगन्नाथ भगवान, जय बलराम जी सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। जय सुदर्शन जी की जय। जय राधा माधव की जय। राधा गोकुलानंद की जय। राधा रमन जी की जय। जय मणिमाई की जय। गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मधुसूदन जी की जय। पंचतत्व भगवान की जय। जय तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी वृंदा देवी की जय। गंगा मई नमाई की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Ho. Welcome everyone to the evening program, evening Arati at Coventry Temple. And now we would like to pray to Lord Narasimha. If he so pleased, may he please provide protection to Damodar Prabhu's auntie ji in Gujarat, Thota Jyoti. May Lord Narasimha also provide protection to His Holiness Kadam Kannan Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Shila Chapataka Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Shila Loknath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Shila Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj, and many other ISKCON gurus and leaders suffering around the world. May Lord Narasimha, if he so please, also provide protection to Simon Rogers, Mrs. Bajaj, Jyoti Malanji, Vinod Manji Mataji, Sudesh Kullaji, Anant Vijay's daughter, Alpha Lakhani ji, Chandrika Ben Misri ji, Vipin Handa ji from Patiala, Bhaktin Rita ji from Leicester, Rita Vargamas Matashi, Premaji Mataji, Shata Mataji, Srimati ji, Premulan ji, Santi Ben Solanki ji, Vidya Smaredi ji, Genti Bhai Chandegra ji, Rajlal Singhadia ji, Raksha Goyal ji, Kamal Shergill ji, Nandarani Mataji, Gaur Hari Prabhu and his Matashi, John Prabhu, Devendra Prabhu, Kishore Bhattakkar ji, Daniel Hoss and Divyanshi, and many other devotees suffering all around the world, and the victims of Russia-Ukraine war and other conflicts around the world, and for the general well. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Also, may Lord Narasimha provide protection to Anuragi Mataji as she's going to have a minor eye surgery tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Kesavadita Narahari नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गौर आनंदी
जय हो, अति सुंदर, धन्यवाद।
जय हो, जय हो।
Please accept our humble obeisances. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha. Jai ho, jai ho. So with the Prabhu, how many hundreds of people are there? 800 people. Okay. So you want to do reading?
If the people want, but you and I already done a bit.
Yeah, we just done our bit.
Our bit, yeah.
Okay, what's the general mood? How many people want to read?
Again, Guru Prabhu, you are muted.
Anji?
Guru Seva suggesting to do Mahamantra.
Okay. ठीक है.
But still you can decide, he said. Yeah, still you can decide.
Yeah. Well, Vidura and I had a busy session, so it was good. And Thakurbai and Neelabayan. So that leaves only a few people.
You did all the hard work, Prabhuji, you and Prabhu.
No. It's a teamwork. It was good. It was quite enjoyable. You know.
It was. I think we only covered about 8 books, but the last two were because of the time, but it was in quite good detail, and
yes,
it was a lot of good understanding coming out of that. Yeah.
You know, I've been hearing someone else who's done that, so that's why, because you've got to do a little research. And I was amazed that before we always quote that verse, Mahatma Nastu Mam Partha. So we've been quoting, so we think, okay, we know what Mahatma is. So when Guru Sahib was rushing over, I said, just find out who Mahatma is and who the other They might be Krishna conscious, but they're not Mahatmas. He goes, what are we then? I said, well, the only word I can think of is sadhak. Sadhak means we are practitioner, we are trying to be. But Mahatma is very exclusive kind of position there. Because others who are just into knowledge and gyan only, they can't be considered Mahatma, because you got to have dridhat nishay, satatam, and a nitya upasate. You got to be doing worship quite a lot, And it's a big category. I mean, he doesn't say he's got to be sannyasi or grihastha or brahmachari or whatever. Mahatma is its own category. And they could be above sannyasis as well, because they're very determined. They just worship Krishna, not even Narayan, absolutely paka.
Yeah, I think all the points that came out during the session, I think where Mahatma does so many different things, for the Lordship, that sort of defines Mahatma, or sort of you can call that person Mahatma, just sort of looking at how much he does for the.
And not only that, he is under protection of the divine energy, you see.
Yeah.
So Devi Prakriti Ashratam. So he's already under the shelter of there. And whatever he does, also transcendental. This is the two things. He's under the shelter of the transcendental energy. And whatever he does is also translation. So he glues in. He always stays there. He could be standing next to us and we'll be bewildered by Maya, but he won't be, because he's protected by Devi Shakti. And his own practice is very divine. And that's why Prabhupada gave us this Mahamantra. And we don't realize the significance. Just because it's simplified, we don't realize where he's taking us. It's like you buy the ticket and you just relax in the plane and it takes you to destination. So it's like that. But what amazed me is this chapter, the way it's constructed. First, it talks about those who are not really interested in. They laugh at Krishna. No, they're Muda. So then he talks about those impersonalists and those who deride and asuram, the asura type of mentality, and rakshas and whatever. So it describes all that. And then he starts to say, those who believe me, And then he talks about Mahatma. And then he starts to really verify who are not Mahatmas, where they are at. Because we might be believing I'm doing all the right thing Mahatma does, but when we look at it, look at that one, the heavenly delights, those who desire it. Who doesn't desire comfort? Come on. I suddenly realized a penny dropped. I was thinking, you might not be worshipping, Swarga or reading Vedas. We desire comfortable bed and comfortable house and comfortable car, and you might be chanting and you initiated whatever, but what is your goal? Comfort. For the body and everything. So when you leave, you're not Mahatma then, because you're not taken the ashraya of Devi, you're taken of the Asuri Prakriti. That's Bhautik Sansar. You want comfort there. Then I realized you got to be careful about your mentality. It isn't just like I'm initiated and whatever. What do you desire? So if you're talking about, it won't be great if we do this, and it won't be great, which is like karmis do. And you think you're all right because you're initiated and everything. Yeah, you're Krishna conscious, but you're not in the Mahatma stage. You might end up actually in Swarga. The Pandavas ended up in heaven. You know that? Pandavas ended in heaven. And there was actually a trick when Yudhishthira went with his own body. And he said, where's my brothers? He said, they're in hell. And Duryodhana and everybody, they were all in heaven. And he goes, how come they go there? He goes, then I will go to hell. I want to be with my brothers. So then the Lord said, no, it was a trick. We just wanted to test you, because he went in his same body, because I want to be with my brothers, even if it's hell. So you read all that. And I was thinking, why did they just end up in heaven? It should be more, because heaven is wonderful. They were saying the space is big and no heat, no cold. Nobody gets diseased and, and old age and whatever. But when your punya finishes, it's like your electric car. When the charge finishes, you stand still. You actually come back here again. And then what you do, because you have tasted the heavenly delights, your kamana is still there. Your desire is still there. So you end up restarting your desire to go to heaven again. So you do punya, you do charity, you do yagyas and all that. So it all looks spiritual. But Krishna, this is what I'm talking about. I always thought religion means people are involved in yajnas and going to temple and everything like that. But this is specific about Krishna. So the Mahatma disregards everybody else, all demigods, other humans, and whatever, not even Narayan, just Sri Krishna. And then Krishna is saying he's the Mahatma, Nitya Yukta Upaste, and Drida Vrata. He's very, very determined. And that's why Prahlad Maharaj is so determined, his goal, and Dhruv Maharaj and others, gopis, just wanted to know Krishna and nobody else. So now I'm getting it that we can all be Krishna bhaktas, but don't categorize yourself as Mahatma, please, because that's a very special category. But you're better than those who are interested in going to heaven and imagining it and trying to make it like that. And then you're better than those who are trying to be one with the Lord, like him merge into the Lord. You're better than that. You're better than those who just worship all the demigods and everything like that, saying they're same as God. And you're better than those who are worshiping just the universal form, like the universe and whatever. And you're better than those who are asuric, who are gamandi and ahankari and everything like that. So you're better than all this, but you're not Mahatma yet, because you're fully surrendered to the Devi Shakti. So that came through really nicely. But you'll see the twist in the next session, where Krishna says how much you have to do to please the Devtas. But when you come to me, it's very simple. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prachati tadham bhakti uparatam asnami prayata atmana. But you have to give it with love. You see? Now, if you have knowledge, it doesn't necessarily mean you have love.
No, that's right. No. True.
Many mothers find when the children get educated, then they stop loving the parents like they used to before. They were dependent on them and they were loving it. Because beta tu aajkal ring nahi karta. Maybe as tu mata, phir aa jaye kar kabhi. They pine for the children's love. So knowledge doesn't equate to love.
No.
But that's why when you give Patram Pushman, it's not just giving basically that. It's whatever, even if you have that, like Shabri gave the bear to, Sri Ram, but with love. I've tasted every one of them. They're all meaty. So Ram took it saying, well, look, so wonderful. So this love bit, but you'll only love if you actually have understood love of Krishna. His shelter, that he's the abode, he's the goal, he's the father, he's the mother, he's all, then you have love for him totally. And that we have to develop. Because at the moment, what's in our heart? Desires, material desires, kam vasana. And that won't allow love to sit there. Maybe a shade of it is there, but it's mainly kam means lust. It doesn't mean lust like lust we know. Kam means want this, want that, want this, like that. So then Mahatmanas, then I realized, oh my God, because I used to read that before thinking, oh, we must be in that category, we chant and everything. But we realized there's many devotees, but they're all different degrees. And you wonder, well, how come they're different? If they're all chanting, they have morning program, they also hear Bhagavad Gita, all of them. Why are they not kind of same? It's because the desires, what desires do they have? And the ones who show their desires, even when they initiate and whatever, they get found out that where they're at, then lust will be prominent, greed will be prominent, anger will be prominent, attachment will be prominent, envy, jealousy would be there. But when Krishna is totally there, you're taken shelter of Devi Prakriti. So she'll protect you, but all you do is also of divine quality. It's not that she's having to protect you and you're going the other way. And that's why there's a real twist later on, one of the verse. He goes, Api chet suduracharo bhajte mam ananya bhak sadhu eva samantavya smayag vaya vistahi saha. Api chet suduracharo. That even though somebody is durachar, most abominable action, bhajte mam ananya bhak, that he actually worshipped me without second, means Krishna is the only one. Sadhu eva samantavya. Think of him as a sadhu. I mean, it's a quiet twist there. His activity is so bad and all that, but bhajte, he worships Krishna only. So, you're thinking, wow, look at that. Consider him sadhu. And the verse next to it goes, Kshipram bhavti dharmatma shashvat shantim nagachati konteya pratijane me name bhaktya pranashati He says, Arjun, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. It means Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma. So that person will quickly then become Dharmatma, a follower of Dharma, or my love. Because he is Bhajte Mam. So we should, regardless of where we are sadhak or this, that, and the other, we should Ananya. Anya means everybody else. Ananya means not everybody else. So the word Ananya means like that. Ananya Bhakta. It means only Upasana of Krishna and everything. Now we got to get that focus, you see. Otherwise, if we go to the temple, we see many deities, and you can give respect to all, but your Ishtadev, my Ishtadev is Sri Krishna. But you don't insult anybody else, because that would be a prad on, to Krishna then. Because Krishna is heart of all the demigods as well, you see. So you got to pay respect, but you don't end up say, oh, they're all the same level. No, that's where you make the mistake. It means you're not Mahatma yet. And that's what he said, considering the worship in different forms and whatever, like that. Form means like demigods and whatever humans. And that's why Sai Baba and all these other, many sadhus have little difficulty in putting Sai Baba as same as the top topic. They have problem with it. I mean, saint, like Kabir and others like that, but they put him in there. Sai Ram, Sai Sham, they say all that. And Vaishnavas actually feel it a little bit, Das never says I'm same as the Lord. Sudama was, when he was being worshipped, he was uncomfortable. He said, Lord, what are you doing? You worshiping me, bathing his feet and everything like that.
The most prominent Mahatma that we probably all know is Mahatma Gandhi. Is that just like a title?
Just a title. No, I mean, they said amongst the politicians he was a saint, and amongst the saint he was a politician.
Yeah.
So he was kind of special category like that. But Prabhupada actually said somewhere they call him Mahatma. It's those people who do not know this definition of Mahatma, so they call him. Because he was involved in, in politics of freedom and everything, which is not frowned upon. He was needed and he was there, but he won't be the Mahatma in the category we talk in here, in the sense of.
Yes. It's first time sort of come across in detail, what Mahatma actually sort of,
Laksh of Brahma, Mahatma, And he can be Brahman, Vaishya, Shudra, whatever, like, but his Laksh is like that. But then he's considered, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was the same. He was respecting those from a background which wasn't all Brahman or anything like that. He would, even his main servant was Govind. And Govind, he was Ishwarapuri's servant. And Ishwarapuri said before going that you go serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now. So then when he came there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, but you're a servant of my Guru. I mean, I can't have you, serving me. He said, but I'm perplexed now because your Guru gave you instruction. So I can't even, be obstacle to that. So he asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, what should we do? He goes, well, Guru's instruction is higher. But Govind is Shudra, he is not Brahman. So how come your Guru Maharaj took service from him? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed. He goes, he's a very good Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is above all this, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam. Oh, sorry, Chaturvida Bhajtema. No, sorry, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam, So above the classes. So that got me because Sarup Damodar was a Brahman, Brahmachari, sannyasi. He was serving, and Govind would do personal service to him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed it, and sometimes because he was sannyasi, he will show that he will only eat at Brahman's house, because sannyasis are seen to just go and they don't do Madhukuri, but a Brahmachari does it for them. But if somebody invited him, he would eat of Brahmins, just as a sannyasi, because that was his ashram. But as the Lord, he loved all those who had love for him. And it's quite a complex because social and dharma, is intertwined, in our lives. So sometimes you got to be a model of social tradition. and other times the love, and other times the dharma. So there's a dharmic, manusmriti rules and all that. So the social manusmriti, then there's the love of the Lord. And Bhilani, and Sabri, she was Shudra, she wasn't, and Krishna ate her, tasted. So the Lord demonstrated, I'm above that. My love is above all this.
Yeah, I think Janakpuri Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, he was mentioned in the Gita, as a king who also sort of, did his duties, but at the same time he actually worshipped.
Renounced. He was renounced in one sense, although he was a king and everything. Because even sannyasis would go to learn his renunciation, unattached attitude. How does he do it? Because he's a king. And so there's many stories like that.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
No, thank you for appreciating. But I really enjoyed it because when I did the research, because I would always think, what's the confidential bit? I thought it was one shlok somewhere and all that. The whole thing is structured very nicely. It's a filter. 9th chapter actually then, because 8th, he says that those who think of me, they come to me and all that, and others, they get repeatedly coming back and whatever. Then 9th becomes like confidential, most confidential. And because Arjun is not envious, he says, I'll tell to you. But even if the others hear it, because they're not friends of Krishna, they want to get it, what it is. And I realize what it is, it's disguised what the secret is, because he talks about asuras and all this kind of type, and then whatever, and then talks about Mahatma, and then he talks about others who want to go to heaven and everything. Then within that, he starts to talk about, I'm the father, I'm the mother, I'm all this, because those who believe their father and mother are the highest. Mata ki upasana kar li to Bhagwan ki kar li. Pita ki kar li, you have Mother's Day, Father's Day. And Krishna says, I'm the eternal father, I'm the eternal mother. Whatever you love, Krishna says, I'm there. I'm greater and forever. So you can see, he's not making himself impersonal. He's making you impersonal into personal. What you thought was God everywhere, he ties it to saying, that's me. I'm the person, I'm the one. Others are zero. I'm the hero. So that came in the 9th one. And I really love it now. And I've realized, oh my God, I've understood what the Mahatma does. I've understood those who are not Mahatma, but still they're leaning towards the Lord, but they have a Mishra. It's called Mishra, mixed. Mixed with Gyan, mixed with Karma, mixed with this, mixed with demigods, mixed with heavenly pleasures, mixed with this and the other. But then he turns around and saying, well, Patram Pushpam Phalam Tam, makes it so simple, saying, and Yat Karosi, Yad Ashnasi, Yad Joshi, that whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever sacrifice, do it for me. And why? Because we are habituated to do it for ourselves. So he's trying to take the subject matter to him from selfishness to selflessness. That's what he's doing. He's not recommending that, love your father, love your mother and all. He's not recommending that. He said, if you happen to love your mother or father, I'm the eternal mother and father. He's taking your focus to him, you see. We think he's actually saying you should love your father, love your mother, which you should anyway, but don't be attached to them because they are for just this period. But he's eternal. That makes so much sense. Krishna is telling you that you're spread all over, but I'm all those. So why don't you come directly to me? Why are you taking the staircase? Get the lift to the floor, top floor. Otherwise, the staircase is going to take a long time and you might fall down on the way.
Yeah. which they do as per
Well, 84 lakh Juni is like that. Repeated birth and death. Repeated birth and death.
Yeah.
Why? Because our desires. We want comfort, we want sense gratification, we want lust, we get angry, all these things are there. And they're eternal, they're with us. But when you take Devi Ashraya, there's Ashur Prakriti, Asurik, and then there's the Devi, the divine energy. That is the Antaranga Shakti. The other one is Bahariya. So in Bhautik Sansar, you'll have loads of desires, so they're temporary, but you want to make it eternal. But the Devi one, you just know it's eternal. Although you're in material world, you realize, but Krishna's is Krishna's kingdom. So who do you please? You keep pleasing Krishna in every eventuality. That's Mahatma. Fantastic. Not artificially, from the heart. Anything happens, they turn to the Lord. And that's why they're able to then teach others. Please, you're in Tamogun, Rajogun, Satogun. Even Satogun, Ahankar comes. A Brahmin, thinks. I mean, there was an impersonal Brahmin. Somebody told me Katha today. I read it on WhatsApp as well. And he had kept a wonderful garden. It was lovely orchid, fruits and everything like that. One day a cow came in and started to eat. He got angry. He got a stick and hit the cow. And the cow died. So that's Go Hatya. So Go Hatya came. So then the sin of killing cow personified and came to the sadhu. He says, I'm warning you, I'm going to go into you because you killed the cows. So then you're going to become sinful. He goes, no. Why? I didn't do anything. It was my hands. They did it. And in charge of hands is Indra. You should go to Indra, tell him, you should take the reaction of this cow killing because you are Indra. Our hands are, it's Indra represents us. Because he was a Jnani. So he used his Jnana like that. So that sin personified went to Indra. As he told Indra, this Brahman says, learned Brahman, that you are Indra in the hand. He goes, which I am. He says, so you kill the cow then. And he goes, no. The hands can't work. The eyes have to see, who is there and who they're hitting. So it's the eyes. And the demigod for the eyes is the Surya, sun. So you better go to the sun. So they went to the sun. He goes, look, cow killing happened. You're in charge of the eyes. So I'm told, you should take the sin for that. And he goes, no, it wasn't me. It's the intelligence, the mind. And the demigod for that is the moon. So you go to the moon because, the eyes might see, but it's the mind who decides. So then he went to the mind like that. And the mind goes, look, I might tell the eyes like that, but I didn't mind the cow coming to the thing. It's the ahankar that's cow entered my thing. So you better go to ahankar, which is Rudra, Lord Shivji. So he went to Lord Shivji saying this cow has died. And I think you got to suffer the reaction. He goes, why me? He says, no, it's nothing to do with me. I think, let's go to Vishnu. So they went to Vishnu. So they said that, Vishnu, you better take this offense like that because it's not me, because you created everything. So the sin of killing that cow comes to you. And Vishnu thought about it and he goes, okay, let me see. He said, we'll have to investigate what happened. He said, let's all go down to that Brahmin. So they all went to the Brahmin. Brahmin was very happy to see them. And Lord Vishnu looks around the garden. He really loves it. He goes, oh my God, I've never seen a garden like that. Oh, I grew all this thing. Oh, I love this, man. Oh, I grew it, 20. The flowers, especially bottom. You did all this? Yeah. So the cow came in. Yeah, my garden. He said, well, then you killed it. So I told the Pop, okay, he's saying I did all this. So he's the one who created the situation. So you go into them. See, the Lord realized ahankar, he would, when we do some action saying, oh, the Lord did it. But when we say we possess us, and say, I did it, so ahankar got him like that.
Yeah.
So that's why, we have to be careful when we're doing our bhakti, that you can't have ahankar, that I did it. Mahatma always thinks the Lord did it. If something good, saying Lord's mercy. Something bad happened, say it could have been worse. The Lord halved it or made it quarter like that. That's what I'm saying. What is it? There was a word like that. That he's always bowing down. There was a word like that. And so we have to learn these gunas. They should be naturally coming, not pretend that, okay, Mahatma does this, so I'll do like that. There'll be a disparity between what's in your heart and what you're externally doing it. But when you start to take the shelter of Devi, transcendental energy and bhakti and Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the transformation will happen. And one day you won't even think you're a Mahatma. You think you're a fallen soul. That's a sign of a Mahatma. He never thinks he's somebody. But at the moment, we would like to think we're Mahatma. So that's the problem. But when Mahatma, he goes, I'm the most fallen. Who am I? Go to someone else. You know, I'm the most fallen. So there you go, Prabhuji. I find it very, very interesting. 9th chapter. Yeah. More than any other. And it's difficult because others I can capture in 1 hour. But this one only went so far in this, because it's gehrai, it's in depth. So the depth comes visible more and more. So you can't run across it, because then you think, I've got to understand that.
That's right. Yeah.
Got to understand it.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to the next one now. You know.
Well, the last bit is very, very good. It's got real fantastic operative shlokas, like how to operate, like this Patram Pushpam Phalam Yad Karosi and then at the end, Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto Madhyaji, you know, it actually gives the formula. And in the 18th, I mean, 9 times 2 is 18. In the 18th again, it goes Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto. So that shloka almost comes twice. So makes this confidential, it's revealing itself. And I feel very honored that we wrestled with it, you know, because first I was thinking, well, what am I going to say about this? It's confidential because I haven't discovered what it is. So now I realize it's not one thing. It's the whole scenario of where everybody's at. That even if you read this thing, you still be Asura, you still be impersonalist, whatever. If you are, you haven't taken the shelter of Devi yet, you know? So just the definition isn't going to make you it. You'll have to practice the devotiness, you know, every day to get into Devi Prakriti. Otherwise, you're going to be Asura Prakriti, you know, desiring, you know, comforts and whatever, like everybody does. I mean, take America, take Europe, they were all doing that. Holidays and whatever. Look at this, the fuel, you know, how the environment has been ruined, and it was all like progress. And we thought they're doing really good. And then China took over, and then India is now trying to GDP and all that kind of thing. But our real GDP is our Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, you know, and because that's environment friendly. Otherwise, you're exploiting the environment. There's only so much carbon and so much. It's recycling, and you know, this advancement is actually Rakshasi. But we thought, oh, we left behind. But we're not left behind. We got the best culture. Our family values and all of the great, you know, community values are great, you know. So I find Prabhupada actually saved the world in one sense. Well, saved us at least.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Others don't have an answer. They don't have an answer. Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai, Jai, Jai. I've got loads of rounds to do now.
Okay.
प्रकाश प्रभु,
हाँ,
हम अभी भी YouTube में आपने ध्यान दिया?
क्या बोलिए?
We are still on YouTube. आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया? आपने कंट्रोल कर रहे थे. मुझे भी ध्यान देना चाहिए था.